What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Happy Liberation Day to everybody. I'm feeling liberated already. We don't even have the details yet, but it just puts you in it feels like a holiday or something. I don't know. I don't know. But I hope you guys get together with your families and get around the dinner table, discuss good times and bad times and all. I don't know. There's a new holiday for me, so I'm not sure the protocol here, but we do have Liberation Day, debatable on what time everything is happening. From what I heard, it's 3 p.m. I also heard like 4 o'clock. I heard like 5:30. I heard that some of the plans were not even put together. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Tessie just came out with some delivery numbers too, as I was signing on, so I didn't see the numbers. Initial reaction is to the downside. However, sometimes options can be your friend, and two the market was pricing in 250 was the low of the week, and about 290 was the high of the week. Uh, so somewhere in that range, and we are at the lower end. So not a suggestion one way or the other, but we have not broke 250 yet. So very interesting. But we got Albert Nails. Good morning to you. Good morning to Amy, Andy, Bill, Emily, Joe, Keith, Lauren, Lucian, Marius, Peter. Good morning to Reed, Rob, Tim, Wendy's in the house. All my people out in YouTube land. Richard Jet, first one in the comment section. He's going to get the gold medal for today. 24 karat plastic gold medal. We'll send it out your way. We got Mari Mar. Good morning to you. Good morning to Clarice. We got Wade, Dale, Mustafa's in the house. Good morning to all of you. But yes, Spy, right now dipping down. Again, from what I think, even if those numbers, even if the meeting is set for 3 p.m., it's probably going to be delayed, and then it's going to be only after the market closes, which will put the market in doubt for most of the day, maybe still way onto the weak side today. Question is, what is actually going to happen? What are the tariffs? Who's getting tariffed? Is it individual country, some countries getting the pass on? We have no idea yet. And I think there was a report saying that it could be it was before it was supposed to be like 20% to every country, and now maybe there's a little less than that. Market started to rally on the report that came out, but we don't know. We don't know until we know. So, but the indecision might be setting us up for a good move for tomorrow, one way or the other. So we'll have to see how this plays out. Today could put us in a little chop zone, maybe continued weakness for today. Not a great opening price so far. So we are still inside day yesterday's candle, which is important. But inside day candle, and then we're below the opening price, well below that closing price. We're also below three VPOCs, so I think a little bit more pressure to the bear side than anything else. And then you got 551.56 is a level that we are looking to hold. If we could do that, fantastic. To the higher side, first little resistance, 556.28. So right now you do have a little bit more room to the bear side than to the bull side, unless we start capturing and climbing through some of those key levels. So we will see. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a wild one. Again, so what happens today, probably most likely after the bell, is gonna be the bigger impact, and then almost I think set up the direction for the market maybe for the next couple weeks until the next news or Jerome Powell, or we just retract Liberation Day. I don't know. I don't know how it happens, but we got the Qs is hanging out a little bit to the downside. We are pretty much right back at opening price again. Qs yesterday kind of looked a little bit to the weaker side when we first looked at it. It looked like we got a decent open right above that VPOC. We were sitting in a zone where there was a lot of probably could have been more sideways chop. Bulls came in relatively quickly after a quick sell off, rallied this thing right back, started getting through some key levels, and we actually had a good flip in the market. Decent little turnaround. So we'll see what happens here. I well, let's go to Bitcoin first. BTC USD. Bitcoin is I mean that's a heck of a hammer that we put in. Did this just happen now? No, it happened. Is that a real wick? There was volume associated with that. There was some volume associated. That might be a real wick. I don't know. Does this look real? This doesn't look like a real candle to me, but if it is, you got down to all of the support slightly past it. Bulls rallied this thing Hard. Look for 85, 250. That will be your next spot. You do have a little imaginary 200 EMA. You guys know how I feel about the EMAs, but it is there. It's holding us back for the moment. If we close like this and then tomorrow we break out, that would look crazy. Actually, that's a good double bottom higher lows. Almost looks like an inverted head and shoulders on Bitcoin. So we'll have to see. We will see. When he says, I hope my bare cheeks don't get clapped. Okay. Okay. All right. So there's that. I hope so too. I hope so too. Let's take a look at Tesla since that one is coming out with news. And then if you guys have any other tickers that are interesting, let me know or you want to take a look at. But Marius says Tesla. So yeah, interesting spot for open. I don't know what the numbers were. If somebody has them, let me know. If I can't imagine they were good. But that's the thing. I don't think many people could imagine that they were good. So I think coming into this, you've already almost priced in just probably dismal numbers. Joseph's big miss. As of yesterday, so I was looking at the option chain, and the option chain was pricing in about at that point $20 each way. We were sitting somewhere around 270. So I have 250 for this week, is what the option market at least is pricing in. We are still holding this 256.83 zone. So even this did not get us down to 250, but if we end up selling and going crazy, watch that zone, watch that spot. At any point today, though, this candle that just came in pre-market, and we're gonna have, of course, we're gonna have the 200 on a small time frame. We're gonna have key volume zone somewhere right around 269.38, something like that. But with that amount of volume that just came in pre-market, if you want to try to go bullish, wait until that gets taken out. I don't think you have to rush past it. Otherwise, probably a little bit more room to the bear side. Or I think you have a little bit of a better chance to the downside unless this candle gets taken out. Then it's just, I think, full on bull mode, squeeze this thing up, and that could happen while I'm talking to you guys pre-market. So I'm not gonna put it past it. But bad numbers. The problem with that is it's kind of like biotech. Everyone starts investing or picking their direction on a new medicine that might get approvals. Once it gets the approval, everyone's made their money and now they're out. We'll see. We'll see. By the way, the entire market could be doing that too. We could be expecting just a full down day in the market, which maybe today might be just based on the Liberation Day and tariffs and all this stuff. But if we go back to the SPY and we just take a look real quick at where we're sitting on the SPY, we know that this was the 618. We've already dropped past it, so we broke it, but we bounced back strong. We're already down. We've already been talking tariffs for a good part of the year. So if all of this was concern over tariffs, and now we actually get tariffs, and two things happen. Um, the first one would be extremely almost bullish for the market, even though there could still be tariffs. Would just everything come in lighter, or only select countries get tariffs? I think the market will actually take that really positive, and you can see a good spike out of here. Or the other hand is if the tariffs come in kind of what the market is pricing in or already has priced in, you might see the bounce. You might see a down move after or when the announcement comes, and then you kind of rally it up the next couple of days. They're all possibilities. So we'll have to see and watch those key levels, what's holding, what's not. But yeah, there's a certain element to pricing in. So Tesla maybe be at that spot, just as again the option market at least was looking for about 250 to the downside. So I don't know. I'll be cautious at open. Maybe we open, we get a little flush. We are down significant from the closing price. So closed somewhere at 269, and even that looks a little rough because we got up to 278. So from actual intraday move, we're down a decent amount, but we are holding a little bit of support. If we can stay above it, great. If not, or I think on a 5 minute time frame, they just threw in a green candle. Maybe that takes us down into like the 245.88 zone. We try to bounce from there again. We'll see. But I don't know. Uh, I think by over 40K on the miss side of things. Yeah. And again, if you're a long-term investor, I do think at some point that we stop firebombing Tesla dealerships. I think uh, give it some time. The story will go away, but right now we're sitting in the middle of it. So pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Let's see. Tesla's tanking. So I don't know. You guys are saying Tesla's tanking. Is it? We're we just had a big miss on numbers. Joe saying by 40K, and you would think that a stock would be down more than that. But right now I think it's kind of hanging out. We'll see if it breaks down though. But we got to get above that initial reaction candle. Nvidia, and then you might start to see some at least worst case squeezing. You got Nvidia is, let me take some lines off, but this one is not looking that healthy either. Probably a lot of this in the market, a lot of gap and goes today, so probably be leaning a little bit more to the bear side for most of the day because I don't think we're going to get anything that really, unless we get a leak of what the tariffs look like and there's some positivity. But for right now, I don't see what news is going to change the sentiment until we actually know what the tariffs are going to be. But we got the Nvidia is holding a little bit of support, but that support's all the way back from 107.22. So that's a little support there, but I don't think very strong. Still inside day from yesterday, so probably a little bit to the chop side. I would watch this number. If we're below it, I'd be looking to short this one to like 105.41. If we stay above it, kind of where we're at now, I think you probably get a retest 108.84, and then maybe that's your spot if you want to try to short it at a higher price would be a decent move. Stop probably the high of yesterday, but we'll see how that kind of plays out. Uh, Phone calls. I don't. Are you on the phone right now, Tim? Are you just updating me? You give me a play by play? I'm not I'm not sure what phone calls means. Let's see, we got Palantir. Palantir is that's a gap to go to the bear side. A few levels of support, but they're coming all the way back from March 6th, which we did get a slight little bounce off before. A very low end of the day. I don't know how strong that support that we're sitting at is going to be. We're not sitting there yet. Yeah, we'd have to get down to like 81.22. Anything past that one, you have room to 79.59 and 78.77. This one is below. Well, I guess it depends on where it opens. We're at the very, very low end to, depending on the tick, to below yesterday's entire candle. So that is a gap and go. I think probably a little bit more bear pressure. I think you could get away with targets to like 79.62 on this one, and then overreach of probably 78.75. Anything past 78.75, I would look strongly for a continued down move on this one. Let's get that one higher. That looks like could be fun. I'm just not sure if I want to wait for a bounce. I would love to. I'd love to short as high as possible. That might only be like 82.27 though. I don't know. I don't know if we come back and we retest this 83.33. That would be a much better spot. I don't know if we get there though. Calls from world leaders to Trump could happen all day. That's possible. How much of that gets put out there, I don't know, but that's very possible. And then even if we've already had some country, and this is what the lingering issue is for the markets is that will continue after the announcement. There's going to be more reciprocal tax. There's going to be more conversations, more of those phone calls happening back and forth after the announcement happens. And the media is going to have tariffs to talk about probably for the next 2.5 weeks. So you're still going to get that media push that this is going to be the biggest news story for them, unless something crazy happens. But we will see that back and forth, and probably continue chop. The question is, if we don't die off tariffs, I don't think any reciprocal tax is enough to take us down. I think if the market's going to actually start to crumble, it's probably going to come directly from the tariff announcement today. Everything else, I think, is just chopped back and forth. But maybe we could hold some key levels. We'll see. We shall see. All right, I missed the ticker. Coinbase. We got Coinbase is chilling. We're right about 50-50 each way. So I would look for a big support around 169, 69, 61. Big resistance around 172.92. Watch Bitcoin, I think, on this one. I mean, again, that daily hammer on Bitcoin looks very, very interesting. If we take that out, again, I would like to see that close, how it looks, and then we have to wait a full, like, for that candle to close, we got to wait a whole bunch of hours. So that candle's still live. We're just in the middle of nowhere at this point. It is a gap and go, so maybe a little bit pressure to the downside. My only thing is if I take this trade in either direction, I'm getting about a 1-to-1 risk reward if I'm flipping a coin. Otherwise, I'm hoping that one of those levels breaks. So let's take a look at a longer term picture. Still trending down. Got a little support that we did bounce off of once. So I guess if we break this, then look for the low end of this candle as your next kind of support, 164.77. And then to the deeper downside, you got 154.83. So I'd probably have to stick with the bearish direction on this one, but it's a little choppy. I don't know if I have much edge in terms of a day trade. Um, the other thing to do is establish your position now. Do you like this thing bearish or bullish? And if you're trying to go bullish, you're buying it off of this 169.69. That gives you a decent risk reward. Same thing if you're, I kind of like the short side of it. So if you're getting up to this 172.92, throw your stop above the high of yesterday. That was a good retest into the last breakdown candle, and then that would be at least better risk reward for you. We have Hood. Gap and go, big support. Lots and lots of volume. We've been to the spot before. Watch $40.55. I think that's your cue to go short if we break it. Otherwise, I think you might be able to see a little bounce right around the zone or at least consolidation. Again, to the higher side, and it does look weak. It is a bearish gap and go. I think if you're trying to short, you're really looking for if we're not below $40.55, I think you're looking to short somewhere around maybe 41.28. And then second attempt, second, almost third at this point from yesterday's low. That might get you to that to break down that 40.40 and you'd be in a good spot with good risk reward. Otherwise, the other plan is just wait for that $40.55 to break, wait for the retest of it, and then you're getting in on that retest. But that's gonna be a big level in terms of volume that you got to kind of break through. We shall see. TLSQ. Instinctively, I put Tesla, but this is the Tesla daily short. That's looking good. You probably would at this 35. You got in there a couple days ago. Looks like either a couple days ago or if you got in at 35. You're telling me you probably got in back here somewhere, or you just rounded down on your entry and you got a really really good entry on this one. But yeah, that's doing well for you. So looks good. Again, and if you have a lot of Tesla shares, this is a good way to hedge Tessie. You could be making some money to the downside as Tessie goes while holding some longer term positions. So that is not a bad play as well. Bijal says 114 puts are still in play on Nvidia. Let's pull back Nvidia. Yeah, for now. Yeah, they look good. You're well in the money on the 114s. And you have a lot of I don't know how much time you have on the contracts, but you have a lot of resistance getting up there. So even a strong move might take you back to like this 115.71 zone. Strong double bottom. You did make that one new lower low, which I don't love. Still saying the Bears have some control, but in a longer term picture, pretty close to a decent looking double bottom on this one. Let's take a look at AMD. AMD, we are chilling again. Very, very big support at open. It is a gap and go to the bear side. We've been down here before, now twice. This should have been the retest. I don't really want to see this low of yesterday break down, or you probably have a little bit more room, at least minimum. If we break yesterday's candle, I would think we could get to about $100.49. And then anything past that, I'd be looking for about $98.09 again. So maybe a little bit of room to the downside on AMD. Let's keep that one up here. Might be able to make a little bit to the downside. Let's run through the list. I think you guys are out of tickers already, which is kind of wild. We didn't look at Netflix and Meta. Hold on, I missed some. That's why. If I just skip all the tickers, we go through them real quick. We got Netflix is maybe almost one of my favorites. Too short right now. Depends on where this thing actually opens at. We have 8 minutes till the bell rings. If we open anywhere above 9:18:43, I wouldn't really be thinking the short side of things. If we end up opening where we're at or below 9:18:43, I think you have at least a quick flash into 9:14:30. You've been there now twice. I think that could break. That will get you your next spot into about 9:07:53. We've been there as well. Your next spot after that, we've been there as well. That's 900, and then probably elongated target to about 897.21. So that one actually has decent room to it. Probably one of my favorite shorts so far that we looked at today to the downside. Be cautious of that 100 coming in. Otherwise, you have some levels, but we've broken all those levels before, so it might be doable for that to happen again. Meta. Hold on, maybe Netflix might not be my favorite anymore. Meta might actually be interesting too. Opening below the 100, you are at a relatively decent support, slightly above it, 574.22. If that one breaks down, I think you have actually more room on this one than you probably do on Netflix, and maybe a tighter spread as well. But opening at a little bit of support from back here, see if there's some choppiness that comes in. Maybe you get a push into like 576.89, get rejected there, and then it falls. But that's got some room on it. It's got some room, and the fact that we are below the 200, we tried to get above it before. Some bulls went to sleep last night feeling kind of happy that we closed above that 200, and now you are right back in that same situation. So don't like that too much. ACN. ACN looked good for the last 2 days. Now, not so much. Why are they doing this to everything? Here's your last level, 324. We just about got there 2 days ago, and we already got the bounce. Now you got the gap and go on this one. You've been sitting through a pretty significant downtrend. You got above a high volume zone. Now you're gapping below it. I kind of like this one for a good short today as well. I think this one has some room. I don't know how far we get down on this one, but I do see an untested VPOC at 286.37. And we're right at the very end of the uh-oh, this thing better hold on here zone. If we start to lose, I think somewhere around that, yeah, the 300 mark. If we lose 300, yeah, it takes me the next volume zone is 285.26. And I think we just freshly trapped some bulls. So that one kind of looks a little rough. We got J and J. J&J had a horrific day yesterday. That is a big candle. Pre-market doing something different than a lot of stocks. It is gapping up. I'm gonna put a little annotation. That's only a 6 cent gap on that one, but at least it's not continuing to die after a big day. I don't know if you I don't know if we how much more selling that we get on this one. But I like it to the short direction if they're just trapping everybody. If this thing can get a bounce, watch 154.06. If you can get up in that spot, that's your spot to look to go short to probably continue the downtrend. You might see a little bit of a resting day. Usually, typically, anytime you have a lot of a big candle, lots of volume, your next day probably is not going to be the same size candle as this one. So either a smaller continuation move or something inside a little bit choppy. So if you're trying to get into this thing short, you're looking for, I would assume, a little bit of a higher price, 154.12. But that did have a really difficult day yesterday. Andrew says, feel free to not answer, but do you expect a big red day for Tesla? I'm debating on selling my option puts this morning or wait a little bit, maybe sell at the end of the day. I am not expecting a big selling day on Tesla today. Um, well, let me change that. We've already had a big selling day from yesterday's highs and then continuously dropping to this low. We've already had the news. The market did what it wants to do at this point. I don't necessarily know that we bounce hard and we go crazy bullish, and I wouldn't put it in that camp yet until we break that 8:30 or 9 o'clock, 9 a.m. candle. But I'm gonna have to rely back on the options market, and that starts to throw my thought process into we might be closer to the bottom of this week's move as opposed to the highs of this move. So I'm looking for like 250 to hold. That's what the option market has priced in. You have a to the high side, they had about 290 priced in. So you have about a $5 move to the downside, and then you have about a almost $35 move to the higher side. So your risk to reward is starting to shift for this week at least to the bullish side. Doesn't mean that at open we don't drop a little bit and then just either have a small day, nothing crazy, wait for the Trump speech later today, something like that. If we start breaking out that 9 o'clock candle, to me that would tell us that now you are actually trapping some bears and probably goes a little crazy from there. But yeah, I'm not expecting a big day on Tesla. But I wouldn't expect much more selling. I think you start to if you start dropping past 250, then gloves are off and everyone jumps into that bear camp. TLT TLT is hanging out. Nice little gap up, a little bit of resistance, 92.56. You might have some interesting moves in the bond market just ahead of the tariff talk today. That being said, um, and then I think we have Jerome Powell this week, I believe, as well, don't we? Is he talking this week? But yeah, nice move on this one. Technically a retest gap. Bonds don't really respect the gapping too much. They kind of gap almost every day, pretty frequently at least. But you got 92.53. Watch that. If that starts to break, there's a few other levels to hold us back. Otherwise, my target would take us to about 93.73. AMD is getting a little bit of a rally right ahead of the bell. Reed says Nvidia is bouncing early, maybe buy Nvidia off pre-market low around 107.10. Let's see the levels on this one. And I know the bell's about to ring, but I think we were just holding a interesting support at least. We are holding an interesting support. Yeah, so as long as you stay above, I think this 107 mark, really 107.23-ish. But as long as you're above there, I think you have a quick little buy. If anything, as soon as we drop past it, look for lower targets like 105.46. We will see. But that is the morning opening bell. Otherwise, everybody out YouTube land, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button if you have not done so already. Otherwise, you guys are incredible, and we'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow. We will have absolutely a lot. You guys are awesome. Later, guys.